A real American hero. Alright, I know nothing about G.I. Joe, I'll be honest. I didn't grow up with the cartoon or the toys or anything. I think I saw The Rise of Cobra when it came out in 2009. I don't remember the movie at all because I remember being completely indifferent about it. So up until a couple days ago, I wasn't even planning on seeing this movie. But I got nothing else to make a video about. Nothing really huge is happening in the world of movies right now, except for a Dune trailer, which don't show it to me. I'm trying to go into that movie blind. But anyway, let's talk about some G.I. Joe stuff. Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. So Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, in case you couldn't tell by the title, is an origin story movie about the character Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, I guess. Like I said, I don't know the first thing about G.I. Joe. I guess the character Snake Eyes is from there. Like, aside from the characters introduced in this movie, I couldn't tell you any other character from G.I. Joe. But G.I. Joe, is that a character? What does G.I. stand for anyway? But we got Henry Golding as the character known only as Snake Eyes. Seriously, I don't know his real name. Does anybody? He's on a hunt for revenge after his father was murdered. He ends up joining this family, this clan in Tokyo, Japan, the Arashikage, and so his adventure goes from there. And since I'm not a G.I. Joe fan, I get to judge this movie just as a movie in and of itself. And as a movie in and of itself, it's okay. Yeah, it wasn't really impressive. It was cool, but it was weird, because I was watching this movie all like, alright, this is cool. Yeah, I'm kind of interested, but I'm bored at the same time. It's strange. I did like Henry Golding as Snake Eyes. The guy's a badass. I heard that the character in G.I. Joe doesn't talk at all, for whatever reason, I don't know. But he talks in this movie, so if that butchers the lore, then I guess that just butchers the lore. Then we have the character Tommy, who I guess ends up becoming the character in G.I. Joe known as Storm Shadow. And a good part of this movie is about the relationship that Snake Eyes and Tommy have. And I thought it was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Tommy Arashikage, he's gonna be the next leader of this clan, and so that's his big thing, is that he's dedicated his life to this family. And that's always cool, you know, cool ninja shit. I'll get to that in a minute. Then we have the character Akiko. I call her the love interest, but that's kind of putting her in a box. She's pretty much the female lead in this movie. She's a really cool character, actually. I also liked her relationship with Snake Eyes. Because at first it seemed kind of cliche, like, oh, okay, there's kind of a spark there, but the direction it goes, the twists and turns it takes, I was like, oh, okay, that's not entirely cliche. Props to that. The main villain in this movie is Kenta. He's the head of the Yakuza, which is the Japanese mafia, which I do like the fact that the Yakuza plays a part in this movie. It just gives it layers, and I found it interesting. Because when the movie starts off, Snake Eyes is actually part of the Yakuza. So when he joins the Arashikage clan, you're like, whose side is he on now? Where does his loyalty truly lie? I'm not sure entirely. And so admittedly, that did add a level of intrigue to this movie for me. As for the action scenes in this movie, you know, they were a big part of the trailers. They were a big selling point to this movie. Like the big car chase scenes where cars are crashing and the big hand-to-hand combat scenes. It's G.I. Joe ninja stuff, you know? Now, when the action scenes were starting off in this movie, I was like, okay, shaky cam, yeah, I'm sure you've heard that by now. Cause it's true, the shaky cam in the beginning of this movie is like, it's abysmal. Shaky cam is an effect. It means to add a layer of realism to an action scene. You know, it's trying to make it feel all hectic. Which I get, sure, and yeah, that is what it does. So really, it all comes down to preference. If the jarring nature of a shaky cam action scene is good for you because it makes it feel more realistic, then fine, you do you. But for me personally, I don't like it, because I just can't see what's going on. And maybe that's how it would be if you were in a fist fight. If you're in a hectic one-on-one, hand-to-hand fight, the adrenaline's pumping and you're like, oh god, okay, what do I do? But you know what? We're not in that fist fight. We're outsiders looking in. So I'd rather just see from a still shot what's happening. It's like watching a sports game on TV. You know, down on the field, the players got the adrenaline pumping, they're running all over the place. But us watching at home, we can see all the action because the camera's holding still. So we know where all the players are, and we can see where the ball is. You get the simile, right? You never see shaky cam when you're watching live sports. So yeah, Hollywood, let's just do away with shaky cam. Let's let it die. But as the action scenes were going on in the movie, the shaky cam bothered me less and less, because the story of this movie, it was admittedly pretty cool. Cause like I said, it's cool ninja shit, and I like cool ninja shit. You know, ninjas are all about honor, loyalty to the family name. When they're acting all serious, you know, bowing to the leader, I'm always into that. I'm like, this is cool. But as I said earlier, while I was like, yeah, this is a cool story, I was also kind of bored, cause while it is cool ninja shit, that's really all it is. I've seen cool ninja shit in other movies before. So while I was interested in this cool ninja story, at the same time, it was nothing I'd really never seen before. That's what it is. I've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and it's funny, in some of the action scenes, some of the ninjas jump unrealistically high, and I was like, alright, that's right out of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where like it's obvious that they're on strings or harnesses, and it just kind of takes me out of the movie. I was like, that's not realistic at all. But that being said, I mean, there are unrealistic things in this movie that dabble into like fantasy elements. Like, oh, there's a thing that's just not from our world, which would have been fine if they had been shown in the trailers. But the trailers never told us that there were gonna be some supernatural things in this movie. So when these things show up, I was like, these things just came out of nowhere. Like, now it's a fantasy movie? It was really weird. It was cool, sure. I was like, oh wow, look at that. That's neat. But it was just really unexpected. Now granted, if these things are in the G.I. Joe cartoon or toy line or whatever, then fine, great. But I don't know the first thing about G.I. Joe, like I said. So for me, these supernatural things just really seemed out of left field. But the fact that I'm not nostalgically attached to G.I. Joe, I was thinking that might be the reason I was bored in this movie. Like, oh, okay, I'm just watching this movie to watch it because I got nothing else to do. But you know what? I'm all for a movie bringing me over to the side of a franchise. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't a fan of Star Wars until I watched Star Wars. Then I became a fan. Bad Batch is awesome, by the way. So this movie could have made me go, wow, G.I. Joe is awesome. What have I been missing? I was open to that possibility, but it just didn't happen. Although the score was pretty cool. I've never heard of this composer, but you know, the music was really cool action ninja spy movie score. It worked in the movie. If I were to just hear the soundtrack without the movie and I just heard it playing, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool music. What's that from? And does this movie set up some G.I. Joe stuff for like a G.I. Joe movie franchise going on? I guess, maybe. It feels like it does a couple times, especially with this character Scarlet. Scarlet is, I guess, a character from G.I. Joe. She's part of the G.I. Joe team. She's played by Samara Weaving in this movie, and she's really only in a few scenes, but the scene she was in, I just wanted to be like, go Joe! So in the end, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins was okay. I like seeing cool ninja stuff, but ultimately, this movie didn't have that other thing. I didn't really feel a lot of heart coming from it. There was intrigue and mystery and, ooh, where does his loyalty really lie? And I do feel like if the main character were to die, I would care. I'd be like, oh man, that sucks. But it didn't really bring me over to the G.I. Joe side, nor was I really expecting it to. The action scenes were cool, although shaky a lot. The characters were interesting, I'll say that for sure. And the music was cool. Am I gonna go out of my way to watch this movie again? No, I'm not. But if I'm ever like channel surfing and I see this movie's on, I'll check it out again, if there's nothing better on. For Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, I will say, wait until this movie's at a discount price, then go see it. Yeah, discount price, like matinee price, because do discount theaters even exist anymore? I'll tell you what I think when I hear the title Snake Eyes. I always think of The Nightmare Before Christmas. What? Snake Eyes? Huh. 11! So Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? And are you a G.I. Joe fan? Who's your favorite character from G.I. Joe? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.